Good evening. It's almost 3 a.m. here in Toronto, Canada, and I had my nap. Um, you know, I shared a story yesterday evening. Um, ISO police officers are returning to Canada to resume their life. I don't know what they were doing. Maybe they were bakers, cab drivers. I don't know, right? But for me, it answers the age-old philosophical question. And my conclusion is I choose war. Will there ever be a place on earth where there is no war? And my philosophical question choice is what I see it in Canada, I must choose war. Yesterday was the anniversary of September 11th. All right. The war, even though ISO is in retreat, is not officially over. ISO police officers who occupied Mazo are now back in Canada to resume their Canadian lives. The Socratic Aristotelian philosophical question I have answered for myself is that I personally choose war, and yes, perhaps religion, you might say, is the source of all wars. Perhaps democracy is the source of all wars. Perhaps capitalism or perhaps monetary system is the source of all wars. But personally, give me war. War is technically not over. Whether you're a country that's not involved, maybe you are a country that's involved, the war against terror is not technically over. ISO police officers that once police Mazel are now back in Canada to resume their Canadian life. So give me war. Do I want to create a utopian place of no war? No. Give me fucking war. Yes, religion is the cause of all war, as is the monetary system, as is democracy, as is capitalism and communism. Marxism has yet to play out, so we can't really say for sure if it will be accused of being also the source of all wars. But give me war. Canada. I'm not accusing it of anything. I'm merely recording my observation. It's a funny context to be close to all these things in Canada. You know, I I was born into a family that chose a side during the Vietnam War. I was born in 1973, just a little baby. I didn't make any decisions whether I was going to be Ho Chi Minh or I was going to be like Nixon or Vietnamese, Southern Vietnamese forces. Those decisions were made for me. Um, where's I going to go with this? But I find myself in a funny, in this context, in the proximity of these things going on now, in the current war with ISIL, that's not really over yet. Yesterday being the anniversary of 9/11. Now we got ISO police officers that once enforce ISO rule over Muslims back in Canada living out their lives. I'm not saying round them up. I'm not saying discriminate against them. I'm just saying it's a funny situation. The war is not really even over yet. Come to the conclusion that yes, religion is the source of all wars, as is money. Give me war. It's same as not flip-flopping. And what else? Oh yeah. I find such things comparable to professional sports up in Canada. You know, nowadays things are so convenient. You know, there's in Ottawa, there's the Ho Chi Minh embassy, and those people probably went to school in the West, maybe. They speak English just fine. Their embassy staff and their diplomatic, all that stuff, diplomatically trained. Um, so I find like if AnhTu PhucHoang was like the Cleveland Indians, they might be like the Blue Jays. Like everything now in this context up here has this this sort of like gravitas of professional sports. You understand? Ho Chi Minh or Washington Memorial is like Blue Jays or Cleveland Indians. You understand? It's like Canada has a little bit of everything. You know, Canada invented Superman. You know that, right? A Canadian invented Superman. Canada's got that. Maybe Thomas Edison was Canadian. I don't know. You know, if you need a Canadian in the Vietnam War, there was a Canadian in the Vietnam War. Canada's got me at the moment. I mean, technically, it really does have me. And if you didn't know about me, it can say anything it wants about its relationship with me. Canada got Celine Dion, right? It's got Marshall McLuhan is supposed to be some famous communications guy. It's got Thomas Edison, like I said. It invented Superman, like I said. It was over in the Vietnam War, like I said, but it wasn't actually supposed to be there. It's got something of everything, but what really is it, right? Like, if it needs to, it can pull something out. AnhTu was here for 40 years, it can pull that out. If you like my blog, it can say AnhTu was here for 40 years. You know, if it needs it needs to be somewhere in the Vietnam War, it can pull somebody out. Some Canadian was in the Vietnam War. It can pull out Superman. It creates Superman. It can pull out all these things. But what the fuck is it? Everything is like professional sports up here. But you know what? I choose war. And it can pull that out. This happened here in Toronto on Canadian soil. It can pull that out. All this, everything that I'm becoming because of Canada, it can pull that out. What is that? How else am I supposed to learn? They would say. Canada's a funny fucking place right now. You know, I'm not saying put those ISO police officers behind our bars. It's not illegal. I'm not saying, I'm not saying be rude to like the Ho Chi Minh Embassy in Ottawa. We've come a long way, baby. But Canada's a fucking weird place. Everything's like on the level of professional sports. It's a weird fucking place.